Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Indie.XSplit Showcase. We're here at PAX East looking at all sorts of indie games, and right now I've got my man here. How you doing, Steve?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me back again.
Not too bad, man, not too bad. I say you're here from Versus Evil.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking about
Guild of Dungeoneering.
Cool yeah. Guild of Dungeoneering, which has been out, you were saying, for a little while on PC.
Yeah, so Guild of Dungeoneering, yeah, we launched it on PC last August or September, something like that. Sorry, last year.
Last year?
It was last year.
It was last year.
To good success. I mean, it's a great little title with a team called Gambrinus out of Ireland. And so now what we're talking about today basically is doing the mobile version.
Nice.
Which really everyone has wanted since day one. You see this game and you kind of, when we show the trailer, you'll see what I'm talking about. But it's very mobile friendly. Yeah. You know, it's probably going to be the ultimate experience as opposed to, let's say, the PC.
Well, yeah. I mean, you gave me like a quick show through, and we're hopefully going to be able to get some gameplay up here later on. We'll see what we can do. There's cables and wires and all sorts of talk of things. That
Who knows?
Beyond me, I don't know. But hopefully we'll get to see it.
It's all very technical.
Right? Like a lead, as far as I'm aware. I'm like, what? But yeah, from what you showed me on the phone, like it just looks like it just runs perfectly.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of games that will be put on mobile, and sometimes you'll be like, oh, cool. So no, okay, okay. Whereas that just literally looked like, cool, this, very intuitive. Very nice.
Well, let's go ahead and show the trailer, and give some people some context to what we're talking about here. So Pirates Cove was the first DLC that we launched. And what you're seeing here is you've got this little dungeoneer who's basically fighting all these monsters. It's almost like a living deck model. As you add items and things to your character, as you can see right here, it's actually adding additional cards to your deck. And it changes based off of the item. So if you were to switch out that whatever your primary weapon was, then those cards that you had would now be gone, and suddenly you'd have new ones. And if you don't have anything in there, then you're just augmenting your character with better stuff. The higher level monster that you get, the higher level gear that you get, which is typical to any other RPG, except that it's really kind of this, again, a living deck where you, as you go into battle, it's adding all these cards to it. So,
I mean, just looking at it, this immediately reminded me of sort of, with the overmap, like Dungeons & Dragons straight away. Was the first thing I thought of. I was like, oh, so I'm like creating my own little dungeon and stuff like that?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, so what you're seeing there, of course, so Pirates Cove was a DLC pack. It added about 33% of the game content, so it's like doubled it up that much.
Yeah.
So yeah, the cards are kind of more of a mechanism. So what happens is you're given 5 cards to choose from, and it could have a piece of treasure. It could be a monster. It could be a tile card.
Yeah.
So you're actually not controlling the Dungeoneer. You're the guild master. So you're kind of sending these Dungeoneers out to get more loot for the guild. To their demise. Like,
they could go. We're not worried about them.
Nope.
We're worried about the guild.
That's right. The guild survives at all costs.
Yeah.
So you send these guys out. They get dealt these 5 cards. And then you have to play, well, you don't have to play 3. You can only play up to 3. How about that? You play a maximum of 3. You can place tile cards. You can place a monster in a tile card or a piece of treasure. You're basically breadcrumbing the Dungeoneer through the dungeon. Now, some of these guys will have some bad things happen to them.
Yeah.
Like it will happen in a dungeon.
It will.
And it will.
Yeah, these things will happen in dungeons.
But they'll have a mind of their own a little bit, so they might decide to be a little bit cocky and go after somebody else. So they'll kind of, it's hard sometimes to kind of steer them the right way. So they have a mind of their own as well. Once you get into battle, then of course your deck, what you have as a class. So there's multiple classes. We have a mime class.
Of course.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have a class.
If you gotta have a class, you start with the mime. So we've got things like the apprentice and a bruiser and a ranger, and everybody has different abilities, different things that basically affect their deck. So or affects how they attack. So they could have a quick attack, so they attack first every single time. Like a ranger basically gets that ability, which is sweet. So you pick your class based off of the dungeon that you're going into. And you go. As you get into combat, then you're just kind of, they show a card, and you're basically playing one of your 3 cards or one of your cards that you have available to either counter effect that card, so maybe deflect their attacks, or whether it's a magic attack or a melee attack, And it's just a fun little game.
Yeah.
Fun little game. So for a lot of the guys that have streamed it,
yes,
we've had a tremendous amount of people actually play it, and they get really, really into it.
Yeah, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
I get, yeah.
Yeah, because there's all these sorts of buildings that you're in your guild. You have like a barracks, and you're spending these guild points to level up certain things of your guild so that you can again arm your guys when they go out. So what some of the Twitch guys have really loved is the fact that they can rename the Dungeoneers to whatever they want.
Nice.
So usually you'll get it with like their followers or whatever.
Yeah.
And then of course when your Dungeoneer dies, they go in the dungeon or the graveyard.
The graveyard.
So what they love is they get back and they're sitting there and they're going, here's all my followers.
Yeah.
That
graveyard.
have died.
That's nice though, because then every time you load it up, you've got a continuity with all the people that are watching, and you're like, yeah, you're still there, and who's going to get there this time, and stuff like that.
And they get heckled,
Oh, yeah.
Well, they get cheered on at first, of course, and then when they die, they get heckled. But
of course.
It's really pretty fun. So, but it's a very unique art style. It's kind of a hand-drawn look.
It's really nice, especially when you place a tile and it kind of draws itself out as it goes along. It looks really nice.
Yeah, and it was kind of hard to see. I don't know if the viewers were able to see it, but it looks like it's on a grid paper, like the classic D&D kind of grid paper.
Making your own maps.
Yeah, and it's just and the music actually is hysterical.
Yeah,
it makes fun of you. It's this guy singing these little ditties.
Nice.
It's actually the guy who produced the music for the trailer.
Yeah.
But if you die, a little song comes out. And he makes fun of you about epic failure. I mean, he totally mocks you. It's awesome. They're really, really funny. So they did a good job. So we're excited because this summer we're going to have the mobile version for iOS and Android come out.
Awesome.
And it'll be a premium title, but a nice, kind of easy price point. And we'll continue to add DLC and all sorts of different things. So we have the first DLC pack already, which is, like I said, Pirates Cove. The other DLC pack should be launching around the same time. We have a trophy trials thing that is really fun. Trophy trials basically kind of sets you up in this situation. You can pick one of two Dungeoneer classes. You can pick. You have to pick a good benefit and you have to pick a negative benefit.
Okay.
And you kind of add all these different things up, and then it's like go.
Right.
Which makes it kind of interesting because it kind of it gives you this random deck of like, what am I gonna
have good and lame at the same time. Yeah, kind of stuff.
It is. It's like you read it, it's like, that sucks. So, and some of them can really, really hurt you.
Yeah.
Or at least prevent your success.
Or at the very least, you will not do well for the guild that day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we have daily challenges. So we've got a lot of stuff, kind of like a Spelunky type thing where every day you have a thing to do if you wanted to.
Awesome. And, so there's a reason to click into the game every single day. You've got a new little thing to do.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So all that stuff is coming, and will be kind of rolling out over the course of the summer. So it should be really pretty good.
Nice. And you were saying before we went on, you've got this first expansion, which is the pirate expansion.
Yes, sir.
You could kind of do anything with this. You've got a pen and a pencil and paper kind of setup.
Yes.
You can kind of do anything with that.
Yes. I mean, literally, you're sitting there. I mean, it's so much fun to talk with Colin because he's a really smart guy and he's a lot of fun. But you kind of start geeking out about it. If you think about RPGs, there's so many different settings. So one of them, we have different map settings, even in the original game. So you have the classic English dungeon, then you have this jungle, and then you have the dwarven kind of steampunk mines. So that's all in the base level game. And then Pirates Cove is all of a sudden you've got parrots and whatever that you're fighting. So you've got this whole pirate theme thing, including just the monsters like swashbucklers and things like that you're battling, but also of course classes as well. But it could be in space. It could be in an icy world. It could be, in a lava world. And all these different monsters. I mean, it's just a dungeon.
Nice because narratively you could do so much with that as well. Not even just on the visuals, the sort of guild. I was instantly imagining a guild, like a sort of federation kind of thing from Star Trek, but like a space-based guilds and stuff like that.
Yes.
All sorts of cool stuff you can do with that.
So it allows us to be really pretty flexible. So you just kind of sit around drinking and going, hey,
thinking out what we can do with this game.
It's like let's make it whatever. And in some regards, it's just an art exercise. I mean, it's I don't want to belittle what they do, but it's
it's rubbish.
But it's just so easy. Anyone can do it.
No. Obviously not.
Yeah, right.
Or we'd all be doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
But so it's just fun to kind of geek out about it and be
man.
like, we could take this there, you could take this there. So
Well, I
think you have to actually show some kind of restraint, because otherwise you just spin your wheels all day long. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think it even speaks to the ease of how you do it. It more speaks to the platform that they've created, that you can just sit there and go, oh, you could do that, and you could do that, and you could do that, and it lends itself so easily to being such an open thing that almost like the term platform would almost make sense in the same way like Disney Infinity will refer to itself as a platform and stuff like that. This seems more like that to me, where it's sort of like you could put anything into this and it would work as long as it's using that pencil and paper kind of format.
Yep. No, you totally could. You totally could. I mean, it's the art style is very unique. I mean, but I would venture a guess that it could adapt into anything if it wanted to.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
So, but we've been. I mean, since we launched the game, the community and everybody's been like mobile. When is it coming out on mobile?
Yeah.
So, this is an exciting time for us because we know a lot of people kind of want to play it, and we've got other content and stuff ready as well. So it's kind of one of those things that we're just going to start rolling with it. Now that we have PC. Has been going strong, and rolling out the mobile version should be really pretty great, because you can just sit there and
tap
play
away on it,
and
do your little thing.
Yeah, just drag a little dungeon thing. You're on the bus, you're in the car, whatever. You're just sitting in bed, and just kind of do a little dungeon crawl.
How has the reception? Because you say it came out like in September on PC. How has the reception been? Like, is the community grown around it and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, there's been a good little community. I mean, we have a bunch of people that have played the game, bought the expansion. What we've done with the deluxe edition is, of course, included the soundtrack and now the DLC pack. Nice. So you're getting everything at kind of a nice discount, and we keep kind of just shoving stuff in the deluxe edition.
More and more.
Yeah,
just keep adding that. That's awesome. You've got a deluxe edition that's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
It's just getting bigger and bigger. So, and then we increase it by $1 or $2, but you're not paying, let's say, the $5 for the DLC.
Yeah.
But so the value is really quite good.
Yeah.
And the community has actually responded really pretty well to it, because they're like, oh, this is great. Like, so we actually sell more as a percentage of the deluxe editions because of what the kind of community is kind of asked for, is like make that the value, and as a percentage versus some of my other products that actually it's a nice little attach, so it's good.
You were saying like the streaming community's kind of really got behind it as well, just because of the levels of customization you can give to it. Like you referred to it later, you could you referred to it later. That's how time works. No, you referred to it earlier as like saying streamers will have their viewers like in a graveyard of the adventures that had fallen before. So as the streaming community really sort of latched onto this as a thing?
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, when we launched, we had a tremendous amount of people that were playing it. Like the whole main menu crew were playing it. They absolutely loved it. Cobalt was on it for hours. And it was a very upset man when he lost his guys. I think he threw his headphones across the room at one point. But
wow, that's some levels of anger.
Oh my,
to destroy your own goods.
Couldn't believe it. Actually, no, it wasn't Cobalt. I don't think he wears headphones. It was funny. It was just, he was really, really upset.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wouldn't say that people are playing it constantly every single month, but we do get a good amount of them kind of coming back to it. Whenever we do a new DLC pack, like, oh, okay, let's see what's going on. Because Pirates Cove just added, like I said, it's about 33% of the game, for an extra $5. So for those of the fans, it's just like, let's get back in. I can play a whole bunch of new content.
It's stuff like that because there's been a bunch of games that have been coming out lately that have been stream focused to varying degrees of success as to how, because there's been things that have been built from the ground up, like with the idea of the whole thing's about streamers, and they can work, some don't, but this really sounds like it lends itself very well to not compromising what the game is, whilst also really adding to it for the people that are playing it together. Just a really simple, like, you just name the character.
Yeah.
And the graveyard is such a genius move as well. That really works well.
It's just, so it was quite frankly that simple. It was just, all of a sudden, and you'd see it in their chats. Like, the guy was like, me, and it's like, all right, I'm going to give it to so-and-so. They renamed their guy, and everybody's like, all right, good luck, and it just, everybody kind of got around it. And since you can't control the Dungeoneer, it's also not technically his fault. And sometimes you just get really bad luck.
Yeah.
Sometimes the deck is just shuffled.
Completely against
and it's
you.
just totally against you.
Oh,
And it's
man.
just so you're getting like the wrong cards, and you can see everyone going, "Oh, you're going down, and and then you just go back to the graveyard, and there you are.
Nice.
Your little headstone is there, and
Yeah.
I lost a follower."
So, do you have like a date set on when this is coming to mobile? Or?
So we're actually just kind of waiting for the iOS version is almost done.
Yes.
But we do want to make sure that we kind of spend some time and try to get that Android build as ready as we can
launch.
as well.
Yeah.
So it's looking like this summer in a pretty good way. So we feel like in the next few weeks that, I mean, I've been playing this build actually that I just got right before the show is much more stable. We're also optimizing for the phone to make sure that the cards are readable. If it was done in the same PC one, it just wasn't working. So he's actually had to do some new kind of UI elements for like equipping the cards and things like that to make sure that you see the button. And it's also giving you the right feedback. Because you want to see what cards you're going to get. You want to see what cards you're going to lose. And some of that had to just be kind of blown up a little bit so that you can read it a little bit better. So that's where all the work really has been done. Otherwise almost out of the box because it's developed on Adobe Air.
Nice.
It out of the box, it pretty much worked on mobile, but it's just the feedback. It's like what happens when I touch it, what happens when all those different things. So good stuff.
Awesome, man. So you're hoping for summer? That will be good.
Yeah, summer. I would say the next couple months.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
And people can get the PC version of it. Let's say it came out in September. You can get it right now.
That's right. It's a $14.99 title.
Nice.
We sell it, and then the DLC is $4.99 if you want it, but it's a $14.99 title.
And you can get a deluxe edition as well with the
deluxe
soundtrack
edition.
and
It's
stuff?
like I think it's like 22 because it used to be $19.99, but we added the deluxe edition, so it's only like $22.99. So it's just a couple bucks more.
Not bad.
But you're getting
for a
the
whole
DLC
game.
pack,
And the soundtrack and all that stuff.
And the soundtrack.
Yeah,
And the
that's not
soundtrack,
bad.
I gotta tell you, like, it's worth it just for the soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's just this guy singing almost like a bard ditty, in this awesome voice, and he heckles you. And he's got so many. He kept sending them to us while we were developing the game, and it was so darn funny. It was so darn funny. It's like, this is brilliant. So I was actually a little sad that he didn't win an award for it because I thought the soundtrack was just brilliant.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he wins the public award.
That's
for
right.
being good.
That's right.
Exactly.
Right. So
well,
this summer on mobile.
Yeah, this summer on mobile. Thank you so much for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure to have you on the stage.
We love it. We love it. Thanks again.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We'll be back very soon. We've got all sorts of indie games coming up. We've got some good stuff very soon. Stick around. We'll see you here in a bit.